everybody, I hope that you got your snacks ready, get you some juice or a nice cold ale, and we're going to play the intro and get past all these fun YouTube ads because I apparently forgot to turn off my phone. And here we go. So, everybody, sit back and enjoy.
Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, come on in. At the Rural Report, let the prepping begin. We'll teach you the skills you need to survive. Join our community, let's thrive and thrive. Gather round, don't be shy. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, come on in. At the Rural Report, let the prepping begin. We'll teach you the skills you need to survive. Join our community, let's thrive and thrive. Gather round, don't be shy. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, come on in. At the Rural Report, let the prepping begin. We'll teach you the skills you need to survive. Join our community, let's thrive and thrive. Gather round, don't be shy.
All right. Well, you know how all that seems to go. It's all that technical mumbo jumbo and whatnot. And speaking of technical mishaps, Chance, buddy, why don't you have a background?
Because your stream thing sucks, is why.
Yes,
but you know
does.
that already.
100%. So, welcome everybody to another edition of Workshop Wednesday, where I have a special guest, as you see right beside me, Chance Paladin, the one, the only, the author, and the legend. Which, Chance, why don't you say hello and a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm Chance Paladin. I write books and I help people, and I have my own show, but nobody watches it, but that's okay. And buy my book and leave a review, and there it is. And I split wood today, so there you go. There with my wonderful wife, we split wood. There you go.
Well, I can't think of anything that's better on a date night of, honey, let's go split some wood. So,
Oh yeah.
fantastic. And again, technical fun stuff. Yeah. They are not helping me out with this, so we'll probably be switching services because I still can't see chat. So let's see, who do we have? I see Nick is here, Scott, Glenn, JS Genesis is in the house. Let's see, who else do we got? Of course, Chance popped in. KP Heathen, Scott Hummer, STP as well. Dana, let's prep. Great to see you. Granny's Corner, the Orlando Prepper. Tammy Joe is in the house. Do we have anybody else that is here? Grit and Grace, ADRVT is here saying hello to everybody. Divinely Blessed Designs, great to see you. Billy, so wonderful to see you. Let's see, the Canadian Prepper. What is going on? Great to have you here. Anthony, always wonderful to see you, my friend. Nomad is in the house, so you better be good, Chance. Nomad's here.
Oh yeah, me and him talk.
I have to be good. Dan H is in the house. JD Preppy Erie is here as well. And if I missed you, I am so sorry. Texas Raider Kevin's Fire is here as well, saying what's up to everybody. So great to see all of you. We're just going to hang out and chit chat and say fun things tonight and talk. If you guys have anything, drop it in the chat and we can answer questions or go on to topics. But well, let's talk about the elephant in the room because you wrote a book.
Oh man.
And then and then you made, let's say, more of an editorial betterment of the book. You revised it. How do we go about revising?
So that was terrifying. The first thing I did was not immediately go to the AI. The first thing I did was I tried to find other authors who had done it before. It is not very common. And the reason why is because you lose everybody that you had before, and it's rebranding anything. Like the name of your channel. Like, do you know how screwed you'd be if you changed the name of your channel?
Oh, right.
Like it screws everything up. And changing the name of a book is that bad too. And I my last project I had rebranded, and it killed the project. This was
Oof.
like, I don't know, 10-ish years ago. It killed the project. And so um I only found one other person that rebranded, and they said it was worth it. And so I went ahead and started talking to the AI a ton, using a bunch of the feedback from why I thought I needed to rebrand it in the first place. Vision had been doling out my books as surprises at the well, and
Hmm.
so almost universally the feedback I had got is everybody loved the book, but it wasn't what they thought it was. And so after, man, 30 or 40 people told me that, I'm like, I need to do something about it. And well, I had this super funny interaction with this, I guess it was a gal, and she's like, well, I saw that book cover and I thought it was about a guy living in a bunker in World War II that was, and she gave me this whole entire story in her head. Because when you look at a book cover, you tend to imagine the story in your head. And she did this whole thing. And she's like, by the way, I will literally write that story with you. And I'm like, oh no, what have I done? And so everybody loved the book cover and everybody loved the name, but it all just didn't fit. So I started asking the AI. I said, hey, um, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? And they're like, well, your name has nothing to do with the name of the book has nothing to do with what's in the book. And I'm like, crap. I'm like, but I love that title. And so ironically, the new title that the AI suggested was almost identical to the name that I had originally wanted to name it, which I wanted to name it Bunker Buddies, but it had nothing to do with that either. And
Right.
so it said Bunker Basics. And then when I'm like, that's actually perfect. And then the second one would be Bunker Buddies, because the second one would be if a second person was in the bunker. And hey Tuck. And so that's how it ended up. And the AI said I needed a more newbie friendly cover that didn't look so grim and dark. And then I was thinking, I had been talking to bookstore people about it, and they didn't like it. They didn't want that cover to be on the front, as when people, even though that's a real person and a real, this is a whole aside. That's a real person that a real photographer did, and they really, added things in with the Photoshop. Thanks, Mike. And but you know what? People don't care about that. They act like they care about that online. Oh, that's AI. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. But then you have, you employ a real photographer to have a real book cover, and oh, that's to this. Oh, so anyway, so that was back when all the Studio Gimli shenanigans were going on during Twitter, and even can't remember if it was like Homeland Security was even like making fun of people with Studio Gimli memes. And then the Fallout, if there's any Fallout fans here, like that cover looks also an awful lot like Fallout, the little Fallout guy. And so I'm like, this is amazing. This is perfect. And so, just like everything else, a whole bunch of things fell together. And then I have a bunch of other prepper books here, and a lot of their titles and subtitles are just so verbatim. And one of the things that I learned the hard way with my fictional side is like, you have to follow the rest of the genre, or people won't put you in the right like mental bucket.
Hmm.
So I had to make mine named like all of the other prepper books.
Hmm.
And then there you go. I know that's like a long-winded, but it was a lot of things that had to come together. We
No,
all gonna die.
exactly. Which if you guys missed, we all going to die Wednesday. You missed a really good rock out session. So yeah.
It was
Um,
just like the old days. It felt so good. The rock out session felt so good. I needed that so bad.
oh, I did too. It was definitely fun. So opening up. One of the things that I really, really liked, and I'm still finishing. I know you're going to chastise me. I'm still finishing your book.
No, I'm
I
not.
promise I will get it. But well, you probably can't see the thing. It's this
No,
is
because
the
it's in
bad.
480p.
Well, no, it's the glare. It is the rural glare. So
The rural.
j- just on like first aid, you do a
Oh
absolute
yeah.
splendid job of putting down exactly breaking out that chapter of stop the bleed, the poison, the burn, the radiation, the bug. Like
Oh
you
man.
break it down beautifully. Where most of the books I pick up, they're like, "Hey, here's the first aid. It's 112 pages." I'm like, uh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where did you get the inspiration to break it out so beautifully like that?
I was not inspired at all. That's just how I write. So it's I was talking to roaming prepper about that too. Like I just have an auditing background. I wrote tons and hundreds of audit reports and processes and procedures, and that's just how I write. It's it's literally that whole book, as selfish as it sounds, is actually just reference material for me.
Hmm.
I have rewritten and told so many people that stuff so many times that I just needed a place for me to go look it up. And so I wrote it exactly how I digest information.
Well, then I think you and I are on the same wavelength because the first thing I did is I always look at the front, the back, and then I start flipping through the front and back pages because it really tells me a lot about the book. And as soon as I saw the way you broke this down, I was like, this is now going to be my keepsake because I hate that. You go into get a book and
Yeah.
it's got great information, but you have to color and bookmark and tab and do all this stuff to pull the information out.
Yeah, when I'm talking to people, I have like the Word doc version of that open so I can just control F and find, and I use the Word version of it probably every day to help people. And then that's why it kind of changes and modifies because as I find new ways of explaining things, I just rewrite it in there.
That is
But
awesome.
yeah, taking tons of stop the bleed and learning stop the bleed from tons and tons and tons of different people and different firefighters and different EMTs and like they each explain it but just a little bit different. It's like mass triage. Like
Hmm.
search and rescue understands mass triage like way different from EMTs, way different from firefighters. And there's this firefighter guy and we were doing this mass triage thing and he's like, get your get your casualties out of my way or something like that. I'm like, oh crap. Okay, I'm sorry. You just realize everybody's got a different approach, and
Well,
it's funny.
well, no, it's great on that because there's so many people that they latch on to somebody. They find somebody they like, and then they run over there. And then I
Yeah.
see this a lot, especially with new preppers. They find somebody that inspires them, and they try and learn from them until they get to a skill that they just can't quite grasp. And I'm like, it might be their teaching style. You may have to go somewhere else and learn that.
Also, like a lot of trying to save people's lives is not being not finessing it. Like sometimes saving somebody's life is is not gentle. There
Hmm.
we go. There, I
Yeah,
figured out a way of saying that. And I know this is like a little controversial, but the National Guard moved into what was it, Chicago or something, and like 8 National Guard took some guy down or something, and people were complaining in the comments, that was too brutal. That was too brutal. It's like, yes, because you're not watching, a bunch of DEI police officers trying to take somebody down. That's what it looks like when 8 National Guard decide to pile on you.
that's fair.
It's different. It's
Oh yeah.
different. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. People aren't used to seeing it. You don't see that in all the war. Every time something new happens, it was like that new Ice T War of the World thing. Like that footage looks different. That footage hits hard. Why? Well, you know what they did? That's all real footage that they CGI'd aliens over. Idiots. Like it's going to hit different. Or like when that when that fertilizer ship exploded that one
Mm-hmm.
time in the harbor and just like leveled everything, people started using that just as real footage, like the Twin Towers. People started using that as that dust and everything. Every time something real happens, it changes everyone's perspective. And until you've actually really trained and really done stuff and been in real riots, like actually had to stop someone who's really bleeding,
Yep.
like until people see it, your perspective changes, and then how you explain it to people changes. You can't stop a really bad bleed by being gentle.
Yeah.
You can't put a
That's fair.
tourniquet on by being like there's no gentle way. Like you're squishing a vein against a bone as hard as
Yep.
you can. It sucks. I don't
It
know.
very
So
much
like you
does.
can't, so you can, and likewise you may not be able to take conflict resolution from a drill sergeant. I don't know. Like it's both. You have to do both. You got to diversify who you learn from, because you got to be able to turn a different person on. Sometimes it's like react to contact. Like there's a time, what's he say in Roadhouse? We're gonna be nice until it's
Yes.
time to not be nice.
Right.
Like
Right.
you gotta be able to flick that switch, or you're just gonna get your ass handed to you.
Yes. Yes. All right. I see the first question in chat for
Oh,
you.
oh,
You ready for this?
I think so. I'm gonna try.
All right. So STP says my 17-year-old has been writing a novel for 2 years now. She is almost done and wants to self-publish. What advice would you give her?
Oh, yeah. Dang it! I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was flying by. So the first thing is there's absolutely nothing wrong with self-publishing. That's great. The opposite of that is called trad publishing, and you're either going to get scammed or you're going to get scammed.
Mm-hmm.
So publishing yourself is really good. It's as easy as KDP, which is Amazon's. It's called Kindle Direct Publishing, and you just upload it there, and don't do what I did. You want the name, and subtitle to actually be what the book is really about, and then it actually takes like a day or two, and then it's live.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mistake people make is when they finish writing it, they forget to go check the first two chapters and see if the first two chapters are the same tone. Especially newbie authors, they change and develop as they write, and the beginning is never going to be the same, for better or worse, than the end. And if you don't hook somebody in like the first 2 pages, especially if you're selling on Kindle, they're just going to click out and go find a different book to read. And 99% of the time that happens because the author never goes back to deal with the first couple pages.
Mm-hmm.
And so I offer like a little Fiverr service that only 2 people have ever taken me up on, where I just go check the first couple chapters for them, because they're a dumpster fire. Like it's always just a raging royal train wreck, because they can't get their thoughts together.
Mm-hmm.
They try to do too much at once. They skip over stuff, and there was someone that I just recently did. They just kept spelling the main character's name wrong over and over. I'm like, dude, this is your first 2 pages. I detest talking about grammar and spelling, but your main character's name needs to be spelled the same, or you're gonna drive me insane. And I just ripped him apart in a good way, but I was dying laughing. I'm like, you gotta fix this.
Yeah. Yeah. That would seem important. Yes. That's definitely one. I can get past a lot of stuff, and for me, because everybody has their own way. Whether you're reading something, watching a movie, TV show, whatever. If you put in a name and you want to make it unique and it's like 37 characters, I just call them something else. They are
Oh yeah.
now Bob or whatever. And I can't do it because I will sit there and pause and try and sound it out over and over and over. Uh,
Mm-mm.
do you have any sort of a tick or anything when you're reading?
So that was actually the second thing I was going to bring up.
Oh,
You
perfect.
don't know, you don't know how many people I'm gonna flip that backwards, but it'll mean the same thing in the end. I read metric tons of books. Do you know how many people's characters' names are like Bob, Fred, Joe, and Jim?
Mm-hmm.
You know, after you've read your 7th or 8th book, dude, you don't know. You don't know Fred from like a hole in the ground. And then especially when someone's got like a Bob and a Bill and a Ben, like knock that shit off. Like come up with a name that at least is going to be like relative to whatever it is they do. So the person, like, if if rural is in the book and then I remember that rural is the one that lives in the rural area. Here's the thing, like most readers aren't going to care that you did that.
Mm-hmm.
If Southern Tier Prepper is the one that lived in the South, people are not going to care, especially if you say Southern Tier Prepper. People call me STP for short. Like everyone's going to remember that. It's going to be perfect. Granny, that's the one that was the granny. She bakes the cookies. Like it's easy. Tuck was the one with the armadillo. Nick Easy is the one that's got the crazy eyes. Carolina eats jalapeno peppers. Like
Yes.
you can just do that. Exactly, Dana. So that's actually my number 2. But long names, dude, forget that. I don't even do
Yeah.
it. My brain glosses over, and I just get the book done as fast as I can, if I
Okay.
finish it all.
Well, okay.
Yep.
So I see that we go on there, and how. By the way,
Oh yeah.
don't read my book, because the first 2 chapters are horrible. So we'll
I
just
can help you with them for $5.
well, the friends
Well,
and
I did
family
it for
discount.
free for so many people that I'm just like, yeah. STP, exactly, JS. That's what I did for a while too. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I'm just waiting. I'm just going to find somebody like Mike Rowe or one of them very good
Yeah.
voice actors to just read my book, because then it won't be as bad as my book is, but the voice will carry it, so it'll be halfway decent then.
Voice is a part of it, inflection is a part of it, and pacing is a part of it. And I realized that like nobody was going to read my fiction series. Nobody was going to read my fiction series at the pace it needs to be read at. Like it needs to be read slower because people need to absorb like the gravity of what's happening. And people read so fast and then they're like, this was never covered and I didn't get it. It's like, did you not get it because you're skimming by so fast that you just weren't even letting it absorb?
Hmm.
Like, well, you're not reading a book, you're just skimming over words for an hour. Like, what's wrong with you, you weirdos? I
Yeah.
know, Hudson. I know, Mike. You got to get on that. Mike has got the awesomest voice on the planet, and he
Yes.
needs to start reading audiobooks.
Yes. I agree. I agree. Well, you know what? Let's have some fun. So if you could
Ooh.
pick any one of your books.
To have rural leg out, what would it be? All right, in the chat, what does everyone think that rural was saying? Did rural time out? Did I time out or rural or both? We all gonna die. Read this audio, lol. Can you guys still hear me? I should do that. We all gonna die. He's frozen. It was rural. Can you guys? I'm gonna see if you guys can still hear me. Oh, the stream's lagged out. Cue the Jeopardy music. Oh, you still hear me? I can't get the stream loaded. You should hire Mike to voice your book. I want to. You can hear Chance real stuck. That's okay. Okay, cool. Cue the Jeopardy. Read the audio. He's frozen. Tonight. And I feel like time's a wasted goal. I'm gone for tomorrow, and I see that these are the eyes of misery. So would you
There we
even
go.
care? Oh crap!
Sorry.
How's it
No,
going?
thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's
Yeah, no
yeah.
problem.
That was wonderful. We had this before the show started, and again, my Wi-Fi just said, I'm going to restart. So
It's now called the Pooper Net,
yes,
and there's
yes,
nothing you can do.
yes. Apparently, every single technical thing that can happen tonight is happening. So when my mic fails and my light goes off, I don't know.
Your state love song, exactly. Thank you, Grit and Grace.
Yes, yes. There we go. All right, so let me go back to the question because I don't know what in
Okay.
the world. If you have your book and you could pick a voice actor, who's reading your book?
Oh, it's Mike, hands down. Like
Oh, hands down,
it's not
really?
even.
100%?
Oh, it's not even. If it's not going to be me doing it myself, it would be Mike. Yeah, he has the inflection. He has the seriousness. He has the intensity. He
Oh yeah.
has like the gravity of what's going on. Because it's like when Mike reads something, he's like soaking it in and like digesting it.
Yes.
And like even when he just hear the intensity that he reads chat, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yes.
good.
Yes. Well, and hopefully Mike's not going to get too mad at me. Mike was my number two, but now he's been moved to number one because my original one was Gilbert Gottfried, but he
Oh,
can't read now, so it's going to have to be Mike.
okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying to. I was trying to get Mike to set up a Fiverr. I think he's got to get his studio going. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that would definitely be a
Get it
fun
going,
one there.
Mike.
Yes. He definitely needs to. See, now you have a bunch of us that is going through and definitely cheering for you. So it has to be done, Mike. Even if we have to set up like one of them signature pages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing too is like Mike, if you can just like tell us if anything's like stupid or doesn't make sense, we'll double your pay.
There you go. There you go.
Like,
There you go. Perfect. I'm just seeing if because I'm trying to make sure that with my technical glitch that I didn't miss anything in chat, so that way we don't go
well, Nick
through.
Easy gave us $5, so thank you,
Yes,
Nick.
thank you, Nick. You are awesome. Thank you. And that's right, Dana. I did disappear. It definitely happens, and it would be a good time to set it up professionally. That when I disappear, banjos start playing. That would be awesome.
Dana says we were talking about not being gentle earlier, the Heimlich maneuver, and I
Oh
didn't
yes.
even think about that one. There's just a bunch of medical things that you just man, well, and just any just self-defense in general. Like last night we were talking about like women self-defense and stuff. And typically like women who survive violent encounters is because they do like 100% like really, 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 really fast.
Hmm.
And that it's called like violence of action or force of action or something like that. And so like I don't know, it's just a good topic, but it's hard. It's hard it's hard to train people to be able to recognize when you're in a fight or in just any life or death situation. I mean, bystander syndrome is just so toxic.
Oh yes. Yes.
The you know the poor gal on the bus, and just so many other times, like you have to really train through that to just realize that not only are you your own first responder, but there's just a good chance you know you're going to be on the side of the freeway and just nobody's going to help you.
Yes.
But also, if you start CPR, you might be doing CPR for a long time. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about like horrible stuff the whole time. That's always what's on my mind, though.
No, no, no. And actually, to go on to that, one of because I've taken very wide array of different CPR and AED training and all sorts of stop the bleeds and stuff. And I thought one of the most interesting ones that I took, and it was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, when somebody collapses, anaphylactic shock, anything along those
Yeah,
lines, whatever, they poof, they're down. The first thing you
yeah,
do is point to somebody, pick somebody that is around you, and say call 911 because it breaks them out of that bystander mode.
yeah. And you have to send someone with them. It's like
Yes,
go make sure that they actually call 911,
yes,
and then you go get the defib, and you go make sure they actually go get the defib,
yes.
like or a fire extinguisher, or like or whatever it is. Yeah,
Well, and there's a lot of different situations. I was recently watching one of, I believe it was Australia, of their lifeguards that they had a woman that drowned. She was like when they got to her, she was floating face down.
ugh.
And when they got her back, they pulled her bikini top off. And I mean, everybody's standing there. And I'm
Yeah.
going, what are we doing? and it's because you have to clear away and dry her off to put a defib on her.
Yeah, well, you also they're I talk about that I think in my book. I'm not sure, but they're usually a wire. If they have a wire bra, you have to take
Yep.
those off too, or you're gonna fry them.
Yes.
You're gonna turn them into a frigging pancake. And that's also shout outs to all of you with a pair of trauma shears. That's usually why those things are titanium, because you've got to be able to chop through wire bras. Um, and who knows what else if you have to get to a gunshot wound,
Yes.
or you don't want to be able to, everyone busts out their knife and I'm like, you're just going to slice the person to ribbons.
Yes.
That's a big part of being a first responder too, is finding the biggest person you can and go, okay, you take away everybody's phones that start recording and just smash them on the ground.
Yes. Yes.
Because EMTs and stuff, and the cops and everything, they'll start clubbing people if they see a bunch of people, especially if they're like in and around a crime scene. You're asking to just get your ass kicked by the cops and EMTs and the firefighters. They hate that.
And that's exactly what Dana just said. I wonder how many folks would not stop recording to call for help.
Oh, I'll smash their damn phone. I'll smash their phone right in front of them. If they're not going to call for help, their phone's getting smashed.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm not even effing around with that. It's stupid.
Yeah. Well, and then it's that whole thing, right? Because it's, if I can't help because I'm too scared of getting sued, right? I made the situation worse, or I moved them incorrectly and now they're permanently this, whatever. So I'm just going to stand there. Well, I might as well go ahead and make this video or viral video, right?
Yep. Because here's part of the problem, and this still is a daily thing. They upload it to Twitter. All the news agencies are immediately bombarding them. We want to show that on the 5 o'clock news, and that we'll pay you $5,000 or whatever. And it's barbaric. Like the entire, and not the funny thing. The sad thing is they don't show what they should be showing. Like they don't actually show how bad. They don't show how bad things really are. They show what's going to boost their ad revenue. And that's just so messed up. It's so disgusting.
It is. It's 100%. And just as a kicker, Tuck did give you permission that if the situation to arise, do not hesitate to pull off his bikini top.
I'm gonna pull it and then snap it, like so. It's just like whack, and then it'll just wake him back up again.
Yeah,
whack.
Yeah, we don't need the AD for him. We just one of them little pulls.
Whack.
He'll be
rubber band. Snap it.
MS Coast Cajun Prepper brings up a good one. He's giving you kudos for being accurate, saying that in rural situations, gone 45 to 60 minutes for help.
Yeah, that's not even in rural anymore. That's so. There was a video that just came out a couple days ago. There was a fentanyl OD. The guy was long gone, and a guy stood there and called, and he waited over an hour. Well over an hour, and nobody still even came to get the body. And so that's yummy on a 100-degree day. So, and he was still holding the foil in his hands and everything. Like so it's called, what's it called? Code Zero? Is that what it's called when there's just no ambulances coming?
I think so.
And that's in a city, and 911 will just go down altogether because of the hacks and some other things. You're gonna, and not to mention all these, the night purges are coming back. Like you've got to be your own first responder for potentially like an entire night.
Yes. And I keep seeing this pop up where everybody's kind of talking about car fires, and you and I were talking about the lithium battery. I'm curious. We have an SHTF situation. What do you think the lithium fires are going to be like?
Spicy. don't breathe the fumes. And I think that's like just another, that'd be like a good like firefighter question, like, hey firefighter, how do you feel about prying somebody out of a car? I mean, the Priuses, shoot, was roaming just talking about that too? Somebody's like, the Priuses aren't like the end of the world. Like, Priuses were scary at the beginning, but now it's like there's 10 billion wires running through that thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
I wouldn't go anywhere near them. If I had if I had a Rivian, or some, I would just plug it into the house as far, but on a really long extension cord. I would never drive that thing.
Right.
Those things are absolute death traps. They don't want those. They don't want those in parking garages. They don't want them under buildings. They don't want them on those big boats that float around, ferries. They don't want them on anything.
Nope.
They're death traps. And if you've ever seen a picture of one, even if it just goes half off, oh, it's terrifying. Not even to mention like e-bikes. Forget those damn things.
Oh
You're
yeah.
insane.
Well, and here's the
Freaking
thing.
ridiculous.
We had the Carrington event that happened, and all the different telegraphs and all that went up, and then all of a sudden we started coming around. We're talking about CMEs, EMEs, and all that, and we've tested
Yeah.
and we've hardened. What about Teslas and all that? Like, what are they going to do in a CME or an EME or EMP?
They're supposed to. I mean, they're supposed to have not quite like EMP shield like level stuff, but like they're supposed to be like pretty hardened. I honestly, I don't think it's going to matter. I think those things are just, I just think they're going to fry.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not downing any one of the EMP companies or anything like that, but what a great way to be like, hey, I 1,000% guarantee this is going to work, because if it doesn't, who's going to care? The whole civilization's gone. So
There's a reason why they don't, have battery powered airplanes.
yeah,
I mean, because they don't trust it. Like, I I just wouldn't do it. The satellites are gonna fall out of the sky, and it's like, do you mean to tell me that the satellites are less hardened than like an EV? Like, I don't believe it. So if the satellites are all gonna get fried, you gonna tell me that like the cars aren't gonna get fried too?
yeah.
We're at what? We're at a solar maximum. The magic bubble around the planet's getting weaker and weaker. The sun farts are getting stronger and stronger. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing acting like all these EVs aren't going to just be popsicles or Roman candles or whatever they're.
Well,
Yeah.
but we've come so far in the age of technology. What about all the people that have like medical devices, whether it's internal or on the skin, anything like that? What do you think is going to happen there?
Man, I know a dear friend of mine just had a pacemaker put in,
Hmm.
and that was like one of my questions. I really don't know. Either they're gonna get superpowers or they're gonna turn into a baked potato. I really don't know, because I already know it screws up our cell phones like crazy,
Hmm.
because I've been on cell phone calls with people all across the US when a couple of those bigger ones hit. And yeah, everyone's phone just like stops working.
Hmm.
It's weird. It's like all of a sudden we're all talking through a fan, except we're all talking through a different fan.
Yes.
And so if it's screwing up phones, it's not like our body is protecting that equipment anymore. You can't defib somebody with one. So
No.
if
No.
you don't have anything electronic, like, I wouldn't even want to be wearing one of those crazy nose ring things. Are you kidding me?
So I mean, think about how many people have a smartwatch and all the different things like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want any of that stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Well, and
thank you.
Ace asks, what do you think about the people who have like electronic wheelchairs and things?
Stop it, Gnostic. I can't focus. I mean, all the electric wheelchair, like all the e-bikes, like they're, if it's big enough, anything with a circuit board is gonna fry, because the circuits themselves are going to burn. It's not gonna matter. Um, and there's already equipment now. So I don't know if you know this, there's a couple different ways to find like if your hotel is bugged or something, right? You can see if it's giving off RFID, you can see if it's like live transmitting, but some of them aren't. Some of them just record and they send in little bursts. They have to run kind of like a microwave over everything that like activates the microchip to see if the microchip is there. That's what like a Carrington level event would do, but it would do it to like every single microchip on that side of the planet at the same time. So it's not going to matter how hardened it is. Like it's just going to be on fire. The
Yeah,
microchip is just going to be on fire.
yeah. And I mean, just going back to what they said, if you're in a wheelchair, it's because most of those people are immobile. They can't move. And then all of a sudden that hits out of a blink of an eye and their chair goes up in flames. I mean, they're not obviously getting up and walking away from it.
Tuck and roll.
Well, I suppose. I
that's
suppose.
that's all you're going to be able to do. I have a friend right now that like can't even find one of those little knee scooter things to roll around on. But like, you're going to have to fashion crutches somehow. Good luck with that. Or you're going to have to get a little, knee scooter or something. It's going to be tough. A knee scooter with giant tires.
Oh, and Dana's got a good one because we had one here, and I can't remember who it was. I believe it was Carolina that hubby had
geez.
medical, and so that kind of had her spark into I need to take some classes, which is awesome. Uh, but Dana's asking, did they teach the compression or did they teach breathing too? And I'm curious, are they changing that now?
It's been a few years since I took it, but when I took it a couple years ago, they had almost completely taken breaths out of it.
Really?
Or if they were going to do breaths at all, it was going to be like a second person doing breaths. You're going to pass out doing breaths in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah.
Especially, well, speaking about how fake Hollywood is, they virtually never show how to do CPR right. And it's probably because they would just break the actor's ribs if they were doing it. But you have to be putting in a breath enough to actually be like raising their chest twice, which is a ton of oxygen.
Yep.
To try to get in there. And then you have to be pushing down on their chest hard enough to actually basically be massaging their heart. And if you're a bigger person, you will be cracking ribs probably doing that. And so if you're there by yourself, compressions only are going to be better than nothing. If you're going to do breaths, you're going to pass out, which is why they get the little breathy bag doodly doos. But a lot of people, they don't get the rhythm right. It's just CPR is a mess. It's not like it's a fake science or anything, but the likelihood of you saving somebody on CPR is like what 10%, even if you do it right or something.
Right.
Like it's really bad, and that's why they teach you in mass casualty. If someone is bugging you and they won't leave you alone and they want you to come save grandpa, tell them to go do CPR and then get out of there as fast as you can because they're going to pass out.
Oh, and it seems like everybody in the chat is all saying that they're being taught compression only now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do breaths. Plus if they're coughing up blood, or if there's like blood all over their mouth and face, like if they're in a wreck. The other thing, what they taught us, I know this is all like really gruesome, but like if they're in a really bad wreck, half their face could be gone. Like people can live without their lower jaw, and you're not giving them breaths if they have no jaw left.
Right.
And I think the one they told us is like the motorcycle guy had like no face. He was still alive, and they were able to do chest compressions. Now, whether you decide to save somebody that has no face is up to you.
Very much. Very much.
Yep. And but a loved one, people do weird things for loved ones, and you might want to save your faceless grandpa. I don't know.
Yeah. I get it. Well, and I mean, I have been
I'm not judging.
Really good training classes where they try and simulate, they take you out and then they bring you back where things are staged and people are screaming and smoke and all that to try and give you the experience, but it's not the same still.
crisis actors can get you almost all the way there.
Yep.
But usually what happens is when I've dealt with crisis actors in the past, they put like really stupid rules on me, but they don't have those same rules for the crisis actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was this one, and all these crisis actors were like in middle school, and they were like, all right, you can't touch the kids. I'm like, obviously I can't touch the kids, duh. And it's like, but oh, by the way, the kids are going to be running around and kicking and screaming and tackling you and trying to shove their way out and
Mm-hmm.
not going where you tell them to and laying in the middle of where people are trying to walk. I'm like, oh, I'm like, well, where are their parents? Can I just get their parents? No, don't touch the kids. I'm like, I don't want to touch the kids. I want the kids to stop running around like it's the end of the world. It's like, well, the kids are going to run around like it's the end of the world because they're separated from their parent and they want to get back outside, but that's where the emergency is. I'm like, okay, well, these are kind of impossible rules.
Oh yeah.
But I get it. It's so I don't know. Crisis actors get you halfway there, but there's also there does have to be some restrictions.
Yes. Yes. And Nick, I don't know why you gave a hamster CPR, but good for you, buddy.
There's people, man. There's people that like try to give dogs CPR, try to give cats CPR. It's yeah. For people are going to do what people are going to do, and they're sometimes you got to just let them do it.
Oh yeah.
It's also weird because when people are conscious, they can deny help even if they're dying.
Mm-hmm.
And well, until Orange Man says we can throw them only in the asylum again. But until then, they can just deny help. So I was at work. This guy was sleeping in a cube and fell and knocked himself out on the way down. And someone called 911, and 911 came, and he woke up in time for them to deny. He denied their help, and they're like, "But dude, why were you even sleeping in a cube? B, you like slammed your head on the way down. Everybody heard you, and you hit the floor. Like, nope, I'm denying help." And it's just like, I wanted to yell, haul him off. But
You get away from the pass back.
strap him up and haul him off. I don't even know who it was. I'm like, I never want to see that person up here again. But like, what do you do? What do you do when someone denies help and they're gonna, like, I don't know, it's messed up. Mass triage is hard.
Oh yes.
It's a mind F big time.
Oh yes. Yes.
You're gonna watch people die and it sucks.
Speaking of that, the morning chat video was about having an active shooter, and we had a comment on there from one of the people watching the video, and they said back when they were a school teacher, when they did active shooter drills, if they were at recess, their rules was to bring the kids back into the building.
Yeah, you have to try, because that's the only place where they're secure.
And here's my thing. So the kids are out here, they're out playing kickball and tag, and there's gunshots inside of the building. The rules are to take them towards the building.
Yeah, where else are you going to take them? You're going to like having, I mean, I'm in a perfect world, you would have off-site fallback points, but I've never been in a school my entire life that had off-site fallback points. That's only in like corporate America, and it's usually only for fire drills. I mean, why do you run into a building if there's like an earthquake? Well, because people will stand right underneath the facades and look up and die. Like, people are stupid. Kids are really stupid.
Oh yes.
Like, they might go hide and you might never find them again. Like, what do you do? Like, try to shove them all into somebody's house? Just like kick somebody's door in and just shove a bunch of kids in there? Like, you're kind of, until the police have set up a perimeter, you don't have anywhere to like get the kids to the other side of the perimeter. And even then, like, you've seen those where they want to check every single kid before they go. They want to make sure like the shooter hasn't somehow scooted through as the kids. And then what do you do? Because their parents aren't there. And then getting the parents to the school, man, Mass
Yep.
triage at a school is just a nightmare because every single parent's got to get off work from hell and gone. You don't even know where they're at.
Yep.
Man, yeah. Tuck says public schools have nonsense doctrine. I don't know if it's nonsense doctrine. I think you're just got 10 million crappy options and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, but you bring up a great point. You're out there, you hear boom, 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 and normally, what's all the kids on the playground going to do? They're not going to
Turn around and
line up and,
scream.
do everything. They're going to scramble.
Yeah, they
But
go in 500 different directions.
that's the thing, though, is it doesn't matter what age you do that at a block party or anywhere else. What's all the adults
Oh,
do?
I know. They run around and scream like idiots. And they go, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
I think it'd be one of those things where like if you could get them all to the gym somehow, I don't know, but like the thing is like you never know if there's only one. You hope there's only one, but you also don't know if they've booby trapped the school.
Mm-hmm.
But you also don't know if they've tried to flush all the kids out on purpose
Yep.
to where they're in an unsecure area. So you don't know if someone's pulled the fire alarm to get them all outside. When I was
Mm-hmm.
in high school, that was my biggest concern is that someone would pull the fire alarm and get us all when we're outside because they don't try to go secure. They don't go secure the outside to
Yeah.
make sure there isn't someone with, something belt
Yeah.
fed waiting for the kids to come out there. I don't know. Like we're not too far off from that, I think, but trying to talk to most adults about any realistic semblance of security, their faces just go white because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to have to. People don't want to even live in a world where they have to accept that these things could happen.
Yes.
And so they don't want to train or prepare because as
Nope.
soon as they do, they're admitting it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
But like, let's not pretend that like in Africa, they don't go raid schools and turn those entire schools into child soldiers
Yep.
or worse. And then they
Yep.
make them go back and wipe out their own towns
Mm-hmm.
to harden them and then to separate them into a part of a new tribe. Like, let's not pretend that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But
But
like,
yeah.
they think that can't happen here. Like, that's already happening in the inner cities.
Oh yeah.
So, and it
100%.
has
And
been
like,
for about 10 or 15 years.
well, like Grace says, it's like herding squirrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you raise, I think you as a parent, not you, but the proverbial you as a parent, you'd have to say like, hey, little rural, if you hear gunshots, I want you to go meet me here or something. You'd have to come up with your own
Mm-hmm.
plan. Um, it's tough, and if they keep taking kids' cell phones away, I just don't know how that shit just gets me going. You go back to the no comms plan, which I think you're gonna have to have anyway, because if it's a big storm, cell phones may not work anyway. It's rough. It may
It is.
take big rural time to go get little rural. It's rough.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't gonna people get mad when there's not some easy magic bullet. It's like there isn't. It's hard. It
Yes.
sucks.
Well, we're in the age of instant gratification. I have a problem, solve it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And people don't like the fact that they'll have to train. Oh, you'll have to actually train and practice and get better at something. Whoa.
Right.
Things
Right.
might not be the way that I, in my that work in my fantasy. Oh,
Right. Well,
like
and
they'll say,
Tuck
"Oh,
brings.
the roads will be snarled and it won't matter." It's like, or maybe they won't be snarled.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Tuck brings up a good one on schools. Basically, for violent attack, you have minimal security, very minimal training, really no
Yeah,
organization, no medical, like all that. I mean, that's a great
yeah,
point. But to say what you did, I want to expand on that. Everybody seems to have in their idea, whether it's from a comic book, a movie, whatever, their scenario for SHTF. Like this is what's
yeah.
it's going to look like.
Yeah. So usually what I do when I'm training a new group of little morons is especially if I don't know them, I usually have a couple questions. Are you going to bug in or bug out? And then they go in two different groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go, what's your fantasy here? Do you think there's going to be a polar shift? I'm like, okay, you think there's going to be a polar shift? Get out. I don't even want to talk to you. Like there's kind of different levels. Oh, I think there's going to be an alien invasion. Okay, shut up, OVP. But there's like, I think it's going to be a red dawn and, it's going to be the Chinese or something. It's like, well, okay, do you live on a coast? Oh, no, I'm going to head east. I'm like, okay, then who cares? Like, I try to find people who actually want to train for something that, like,
Yes.
I'm trying to like weed out that normalcy bias, but also, well, I think it's going to be zombies. I'm like, okay, well, it's probably not going to be zombies, but there are already kind of zombies walking around with between phones and fentanyl. So it's like, what are you really afraid of?
True.
And I try to figure out what people are what they're really afraid of. Where it's not like, well, I'm worried that the trees are going to, get mad that we're all standing too close to each other and turn us all into psychos. I'm like, okay, what are you really afraid of here? Are you afraid of climate change, or are you afraid of like? And then you can start to whittle it down. There's a lot of people that just say, I don't know how to talk to my neighbors. I don't know how to form a group. I'm like, those are all things that are very achievable. You try to
Yes.
break it down into things that are kind of achievable. I'm worried that, I'm not going to be able to weld. I'm like, well, I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to weld either. Like I can't weld either, but guess what? That's achievable.
Right.
Yeah. Civil unrest. Yeah. Here's the thing. Government control, don't worry about it. They can't even hold like one block of a single city. Why are you worried about government control? They can't control the subways in New York. They can't even lock down DC. They had National Guard from like 5 states and they can't lock down DC. What government control? What are you worried about? Government control doesn't even exist. They try to make everyone think that they can do things, but they take credit for things that just happen on their own. You give them way too
Mm-hmm.
much credit. I'm sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, the government has AI that we don't even know of." No, they don't. They have weapons. No, they don't. It's all an illusion. Stop
Well,
giving them so much credit. It's ridiculous.
well, and I give it to this. If they have whatever the fantasy thing that I get told from anybody who
Yeah.
comes and asks me, they have this all powerful thing that shoots lasers from its eyeball, or
Right.
they have an AI, that's satellite controlled and blah blah blah.
Ooh.
Okay, if it really is that, there's no defeating it, and don't even worry about it. Move on to something you can control.
How many F-35s have they lost?
Oh yeah,
I mean, come on. They it's insane. Like, how many nukes have they lost? How many, just on and on and on. They try to make those new stealth boats. They can't even make the new stealth boats, even though I think they're cool. Like, just stop. Just stop. Like, I know that, the DoD has got the AI contract with Palantir, and they're going to try to hook it all into all the cameras. I know that's going to be extremely problematic, but let's not pretend that they're actually going to be able to actionally do anything on it. What are they going to do? Send auto drone strikes to your house? Like, they can't. That shit's not going to exist for like 5 or 10 years at a minimum, and it's probably not going to work because the government doesn't manufacture any of its own stuff.
Hmm.
It's all going to go to China. It's not going to work. Name one thing in the military that works besides A-10s. And guess what they keep trying to get rid of? A-10s. Why? Because they work. F-15s. There's a reason why they're still using F-15s or F-16s.
yeah, the 16s, the B-52.
Yeah. There's a reason why they're still using that shit. It's all 60 years old.
Yes, yes. I will
Exactly, Tuck.
fully agree with all of that. So, we've hit our hour. I didn't even realize it felt like 15 minutes, man. And with all the technical glitches, you're definitely going to have to come back sometime very, very soon so we can pick up where we left off.
Oh well, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. And the little monsters in the chat.
Oh yes.
Appreciate you all. Buy my book.
Yes, exactly. Well, and you know what? Um, you've put up with all the fun technical glitches and all of that. I did put a link down into the description section. Teresa and some others have been dropping on your channel and your book link. I'm going to give you final words. So you tell everybody whatever it is you want to tell them.
Don't get discouraged. I have been holding off on doing any videos for the last week. The last week has been ultra freaking gnarly. I think almost everybody that's not a basket case can agree we haven't been sleeping well the last week. This this is one of the single like worst tragedies of one of the worst people that we could have possibly lost. And the nation is grieving, right? Well, most of the nation is grieving. The non-psychotic part is grieving right now. And traditionally, when the conservatives are done grieving, if the thing is not fixed by the time the grieving is done, then the no things happen. So I encourage all of you to grieve as healthily as you can, and then don't do anything psychotic, because it is not preppers that are going to be doing the no things. It's going to be the preppers who are trying to survive whatever the first contact looks like. It is going to be the normies that go insane. And
Yeah.
you need to stay away from the normies going insane, because there's about 1 billion of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not handle, we were talking about in chat adrenaline earlier. They don't handle adrenaline the same as us. They don't handle loss. They can't digest. They're not used to digesting these things, especially all the little millennial zoomer whatever they are. They're like Messiah just got taken away, more or less. They're not going to react rationally, for better or worse. Mourn, grieve, and then stay the hell away from whatever it is that's going to happen, because a lot of people are calling for the no stuff. Just, you got to take care of your family, survive first contact, get the hell out, be safe. Do all the things to be safe. That's it. And buy my book.
There you go. Perfect. I love it. Yes, make sure that you go check out Chance and look at all the fun things that he has. He's got a plethora of things over on his channel. Check out his books and all the stuff. I have my copy, so I'm just waiting on my signed copy, but we'll get that soon.
We'll get there.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Chance, hang out for just another minute. And guys, you guys could be doing anything else, being anywhere else, but you chose to come here and hang out with us. So for that, I am greatly appreciative. And we're going to sign off. And so I hope you guys have a great night, a blessed night. And we'll see you on the next Workshop Wednesday.
Yeehaw.